Good morning, YouTube. Boy, I got to tell you, we are excited. We're coming at you today. We are in New York. Can you tell how cold it is? So we're out here. We're doing a little bit of tool hunting while we're visiting some friends. And I got to tell you, man, the scenery is just gorgeous out here, like crazy. Well, anyways, we made a connection. You might know, you probably do know, NK Garage. Kurt and Nick over there, man, they were bringing some crazy tool hauls. And so I made a connection with them. Hey, I said, do you want to go through and create a video together? And they said, yeah, come on over. And I said, man, I'm there. So here I am about 5 minutes away, and let's go check it out. You tell how cold it is? All right, see you in a little bit. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to Jesse's Garage. We're excited to have you, as we always are. Boy, we got a special show for you today. You're not even going to believe it. What do you think about my background?
Jesse, what are you doing on our set? What are you doing here?
Kurt,
Jesse,
what are you doing? You're not supposed to interrupt my video shoot.
This is our set. This is my tool board.
Well, you know, you invited me over. I thought I could have a good time with it.
Fair enough. Let's get into it, guys. So, right. Jesse, what are we going to be doing here today?
Well, you know what? This is another part of the video. You invited me over for a couple tool tours, and my goodness, if you guys haven't checked those out, you need to go do that. It is pretty special. They kind of showed us around the shop here, and even the other side of the shop. Very impressive. You and Nick have just really built up a beautiful, beautiful place. So go check them out, by the way. 2 videos before, or probably their last 2 videos is probably where you're going to find that. But today, I just thought, well, hey, you know what? I brought a gift for you. Mm-hmm. I noticed you got a little bit of something going on over here.
There's something here, yeah.
So maybe we could maybe do a little bit of an exchange. But I hear, I understand that Nick, he's got some interview questions for us.
Yeah, we figured, well, we got ourselves here. We got a nice place to sit down. Nick's going to interview us, ask us some questions. We don't know what's coming. We're not quite prepared, but we'll give it our best shot. And then once the interview's over, we're going to exchange some presents. So Jesse's got a nice box for us, and I've got some brown paper rolls here. Don't know what's in them. So let's get to it.
Let's do it.
All right, I think I got 10 questions for you guys today.
Man, I didn't know it was going to be so high pressure. 10.
So we'll start with number 1. When and how did you start collecting tools?
You're our guest on your own show, so you go first.
Let's do it. Let's see here. Well, you know, I started a YouTube channel just November of a little more than a year ago. So a year and where are we at? About 4 or 5 months now. And I got to tell you, it's been a journey. It's been a lot of fun watching you guys. You know, I remember coming on and thinking, my goodness, check out those guys. They're bringing some tool hauls to the table like crazy. So, but what really got me started in my journey was my dad. You know, my dad was a mechanic, wrench full time, and on the show I always have this little 1/4-inch snap-on ratchet because he was a snap-on user. And I got to tell you, I remember I have fond memories being out in the driveway with him, just helping him with the car in the winter, the summer, all year round, that sort of thing. And it just really got inside me. And he passed away, so we don't have him anymore. But my brother got his toolbox, I got his tools, and so ever since then I've just been kind of on a quest, kind of growing it out a little bit. So that's what got me started. How about you?
All right, well, I've always had an interest in tools, even from a young age. You know, my dad was pretty handy, and I never knew my grandfather, but my dad said that he loved tools. He had boxes and boxes full of tools, so he was obviously a tool collector, and somehow those genes got passed down to me. But Up until a few years ago, I wasn't really that into the vintage tools or some of the tools that aren't around anymore, the antique tools and stuff like that. But I started a YouTube channel, NK Garage. Originally, I started it as like a how to get cheap tools channel. We were looking to fill up the garage with mechanics tools on a budget, and we found that if we could buy these boxes full of tools, that we could get the tools that we needed at a really great price. And then through that, I had no idea about this tool haul thing and these other tool YouTubers. I thought I was like a brand new thing. And I found the Tool Bandit. Then I found George from You Want to Watch and Scout Crafter. David, West Highland Shop, Dale's Workshop. We got so many. Magdad. I could never stop listing how many tool channels there are there. And then Jesse came around and he snagged me in when he did that video, the YouTube's largest tool haul, one of the biggest tool hauls on YouTube.
Yep.
And that one, and I said, wow, where did this guy find this stuff? Because that was a lot of tools and a lot of craftsman tools. So really, my collecting started when I discovered all these other YouTube channels. I love tools, but that's when the real vintage hobby kicked in, is when I started seeing that there was a following for this, and there was all these wonderful people. And we were talking today about the tool community. It's one of the best communities there is out there.
Yeah, bar none. And all of those channels that you listed off, I watch every single one of them.
We all do. And there's so many more. We could go on forever.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Nice. So question number 2, pretty simple. How did you pick your YouTube channel name?
You know what? I kind of have a love-hate relationship with my YouTube channel name. The technical name is Check This Tool.
Okay.
But I really push it as Jesse's Garage. But I never realized how common Jesse's Garage really was. So no matter what version of Jesse's Garage I typed in, it always wanted me to add a number or something like that. And I didn't want that. And so I think it was my sister and I, maybe my wife and I, we were just kind of brainstorming, and we were talking about tool reviews and such. So we came up with Check This Tool. Nobody claimed that. So my technical name is @CheckThisTool.
Okay.
And so that's how they came about. So I mean, I it's growing. So that part is cool. But my email is jessesgaragecheckthistool @gmail.com. It's like, really? That's where I hate it. But I mean, there you go.
Okay.
All right, so we are the NK Garage, known as NK Garage, of course. And NK Garage is actually a name that me and Nick came up with a long time ago. I think it's like 2014 or something like that. And what was going on is there was a time when the scrap metal prices were really low. And we, as young guys, we did a lot of scrap metal stuff. We'd pick up free scrap metal. And then there was this thing where there was these old cars that needed to be scrapped. And people would say, hey, if you want this car, the scrap value was like $100. It was really low. They said, just pick it up, take it. And instead of scrapping it for $100, we realized if we take the cars apart, we could sell the parts for a lot more than $100.
Right.
And that's where we started the eBay store. Back then we started, and we wanted to call it something official. And we called it NK Garage. So it sounded like something, a real thing, not two kids pulling apart old cars in the middle of the woods. It sounds like a real business. So we called it NK Garage, and we did a lot of eBay sales selling used car parts for a while.
Wow.
That really helped me when I went to college. I went to community college for 2 years. The eBay sales paid for my books, paid for my gas, paid for regular school supplies, lunch. And I ran the eBay store. Nick was off at SUNY Cobleskill, so I did a lot of that work myself. We also would sell on Craigslist, which was a lot bigger back then, before Facebook Marketplace. We would split the sales on Craigslist. We'd sell engines, transmissions, car doors, and stuff like that, the big stuff. And that was good income for a couple of college kids. And the eBay store was actually pretty impressive, and we called it NK Garage. So when we got into this tool haul thing, we already had the eBay store, hadn't used it in years, revived it, started selling tools, kept the NK Garage name because it just works, And then when we started doing the YouTube, it also just worked. And now we actually have the garage because we weren't two kids in the woods anymore.
Cool. That's an awesome
Yeah.
story.
Some good history there. Number 3, what is your overall favorite tool brand?
You know, I think for me, just because my dad started off with Snap-on, I love Snap-on. But I got to tell you, right in neck and neck is Craftsman.
All right.
And so, because I do a lot of vintage Craftsman. And yeah, I think I started off with Craftsman personally.
Yep.
My dad was the mechanic pro guy, you know, with the Snap-on. So they're both, actually, not even, they're both dead even for me.
All right.
For different reasons. For me, that little 1/4 inch, you remember back at Sears, you know, you remember that? We went and bought those little kits for $9.95 and it had a ratchet and a bunch of sockets in it. I mean, that's what I started off with and I loved it. And so, but both brands are, but I collect a lot of different brands, as you guys know, but those two are probably my favorite.
Well, for me, Craftsman takes it for the win, and for multiple reasons. Just like Jesse, I started out on Craftsman tools back when we used to have this store called Sears. And, you know, there are still like 3 or 4 Sears out there. There's 2 in Florida, there's 1 in California, and 1 in Massachusetts, I believe. And I think I got to make it to one of those before they shut down. But back to the Craftsman stuff. Me and Nick, we started buying our tools when, you know, when I turned 16, I got my license, I got my first car. My friend Kevin brought me over to Sears and says, you got to buy some tools. And I went in there and I bought a tool kit. It's still in my car to this day. It's my travel kit. It stayed in every back of every vehicle I ever had. But that was my first kit. I think it was like 99 bucks. I got it on sale. I used some Sears reward points that actually belonged to my mom. And stole those rewards points from her. But I love that kit. And the big thing about Craftsman is they always made tools that were affordable. And they had everything. You know, when Craftsman was sold at Sears, you know, you go to Lowe's now and it's not the same. Ace Hardware, they got a little bit of this and that.
Right.
But Sears Craftsman had everything. And then if you had the catalog and you go through there, it was endless. And they had all these bundle deals and it was affordable, great warranty, great tools. Craftsman takes it for me.
So it's amazing how nostalgia really can back that choice for a lot of people too. Number 4, what brand do you wish you could find more of but struggle to find?
I'll let you go first. Let me think about that one.
All right, that is definitely, that's a good question. You know, we don't have any problem finding Snap-on because we do look for a lot of professional mechanics tools. And Craftsman is everywhere for us. And if I'm going to look for another brand that I really, really love but I don't find enough, it's probably SK. They were up there with Craftsman. They were affordable tools. They made really nice tools. And I find a decent amount of them, but it's like Craftsman to SK is like 10 to 1 for me. And I wish I found more SK.
Yeah. SK's good stuff, for sure. You know, we have just the opposite problem. I run across a lot of SK, newer and older, where I live in Kansas. Probably for me, my goodness, that's such a good question. I think I have a brand that I've been trying to grow that I haven't displayed on the channel yet called Truth, and so. I've been trying to find those desperately, and I can't hardly find any. But I ran across this old farmer that had a toolbox. It was actually a Truth toolbox, wow. And it actually had the complete set in it. But I can't hardly find too much, and when I do find it, it costs a lot. So I would like to grow that brand. I think that would be pretty neat. And then, of course, None Better. I think that's a great brand. That all that New Britain stuff, cool stuff. Sorry about that. It's cool stuff. And so I think those are the 2 brands. I think, you know, I run across Craftsman. I run across, like you said, Snap-on all the time. And so, but I'm after those rare items. I think is where I'm at in my stage.
That's awesome.
Cool how location changes kind of what you find too. This next one's 2 questions. They're pretty similar, so you can answer them together. So the first one's going to be, do you have a favorite tool? And with that, what tool do you consider to be your holy grail tool? And it could be something that you have or you're still on the lookout for.
You know, my favorite tool that I use, even though I remember my dad a lot with that little 1/4-inch ratchet, but he actually had a 3/8-inch flex head with the bent handle, and so a little spark plug ratchet.
Yep.
Use that every chance I get, almost on every job. I work on the car, I bring that bad boy out. So it's not the finest tooth, but it's just cool, you know. So I love that, and so I'm really digging on the whole amber handle Craftsman. You know, so I got a little bit of a collection going on there. So we talked about in the last couple of videos that we shot that you guys, you know, get a set and then you get a better set and you kind of trade it out. That's kind of at the stage I'm at, I think. You know, it's just trying to find some without the little crack in the little amber handle portion of it. But I love those. That's probably my holy grail that I've scored so far.
Yeah, and that's a good holy grail because I've come across a lot of these older Craftsman tools like the ones you have with the amber handle, and I have never actually gotten the amber handle. And I don't know if it's something about the location and the weather or something like that caused it to crack and fall off. But every single old Craftsman speeder crank or ratchet that used to have one of those, that's always missing every time I find it. Never found one with the actual amber handle.
Well, you know, I think that you could only order those through the catalog.
Oh,
They didn't have them in the store. So there's probably not nearly as many out there, if I remember correctly. But go ahead.
it's good to know. So for me, my favorite tool is going to be that crescent wrench right there, the 24-inch crescent wrench. I am a big adjustable wrench guy, and that is a monster. And believe it or not, we have a landscaping tool. It's a commercial brush cutter. It goes in front of our skid steer, and it's got these huge bolts with nuts on them that kind of bolt through on it. And because of the machine, you know, it's this giant rotating, it's like a giant lawnmower. Those bolts and nuts loosen up, and Nick said to me one day, you know, people say you got to check these and make sure they're tight. And we went out there one day, and there's a couple of them were loose, and we had to tighten them up. And we're staring there looking, how are we going to tighten these big bolts? Not only are they huge, but we needed to get in there at just the right angle. And because this is just a straight shot, it doesn't have that offset like most wrenches and stuff like that. That was the only thing I could get in there with. And it did the job fantastic. And these things get torqued very tight. So
Wow.
that was a awesome tool to find. Only found one 24-inch adjustable. So my on the lookout holy grail is going to be probably the Diamond 24 adjustable, but also the Proto. I want to get more big adjustable wrenches.
Cool.
All right. Do you collect anything other than tools?
You know, over my years, I've collected a lot of different things, and so currently, that's all I collect. I think is tools, and it's a good thing because that's very expensive.
That's right.
All right, so yeah, my family is big collectors. My father has always enjoyed collecting things, and one of his favorite collections is he has a coin collection.
Oh wow!
So we're into vintage, antique, I guess, whatever you call it, U.S. coins. So we don't really do a lot with paper money, but we do collect a lot of old coins, old silver dollars, stuff like that, Buffalo nickels, you know, that old stuff. And over the time, you know, most of our collection used to be from the early 1900s. My dad's really been getting into it lately because he's retired and he's bored. He's been going to the 1800s now and even into the 1700s, and this stuff is really, really awesome. So I actually go over to his house every weekend, every Saturday, and we have a bourbon and we look at coins.
Wow, that's even better yet.
That's an expensive hobby too. What's your favorite place to find tools?
You know, probably estate sales. I think for me, and I know every area is a little bit different. I mean, you guys call them tag sales, I think, up here, right? Or is it estate sales too?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference
Garage
between the
sale.
two.
The estate sale terminology is usually used when there is it's professionally done to sell somebody's stuff after they passed.
Okay.
Tag sale is more like, I got too much stuff, I'm selling my own stuff. And you put a tag on everything, with the price, yeah.
So that's similar to like a garage sale?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. And so I do both. I do garage sales, I do auctions, I do estate sales. And so estate sales are kind of fun, but you got to be first in line. If you're like 20th back, by the time you get to the garage, it's picked over already. I mean, it happens that fast in our area. What I love about garage sales, though, over the last year and 4 months, I've struck up some awesome conversations with people, and they have entrusted me with their family collection or their own tools that they've collected. They're retiring, getting ready to go into a facility or something like that. I love that interaction. You don't get that at the estate sales. And so I do both. Estate sales just because you can be first there and you can try to get in, but I love the whole relationship, knowing the history of the tools.
Yeah, for me, it's the flea market. And I know, depending on where you live, you may or may not have flea markets, or they may or not be that good. But for us here in the Northeast, we have some pretty good flea markets. And the estate sales, like you said, you got to be first. It's crowded. People are fighting over stuff. When I'm at the flea market, I can just relax. I can take my own pace. When I'm looking at tools, it's usually just me. And I get to really look at the tools. And, I feel like if you're at a estate sale, you feel like you have to go grab everything up before you can even see what it is, because somebody else might come and grab it. So for me, it's the flea market. But I know and I understand that a lot of people don't have local flea markets that are as good as the ones we have up here in the Northeast.
Yeah, when I look on videos of what you guys have in this area, nothing like we have back there. So your flea markets are way different. And the outdoor flea markets, even down south in Florida, man, I see those guys picking through all of that stuff, and there are just tons and tons of vendors. And ours are more knickknacks, quilts, little trinkets, type of thing. So yeah, I'm kind of jealous.
We have everything. And I mean, the flea market I go to in New Milford, Connecticut is called the Elephant's Trunk. They've been there for a long time. You've got food. They got this band there. They're called the Trunk Band.
Huh.
It's awesome. It really is. Like, you got fresh farmers market food. There's food vendors, and you can find whatever you're looking for. I mean, I think their slogan is "Your treasure awaits." So
Cool.
Sometimes I can't even get through the whole flea market before my wagon's full and it weighs 500 pounds. And I'm funny story. Just real quick, I used to have this old junky wagon that my mom gave me, and the wheels weren't very strong. I've put so many tools in that wagon. I'm going through the flea market and one of the wheels falls off. So here I am dragging this one-wheel wagon outside of the flea market, because it's just like a two-wheel wagon. It weighs so much, and I'm making a scene, and I'm sweating, and I'm all nervous, and there's this me dragging this wagon all the way across the flea market because the wheel fell off.
You couldn't put the wheel on?
No, it was done. It broke.
That's hilarious.
Next one is going to be, do you have a favorite tool haul that you've brought home?
I think the funnest one, which is also the most painful one, has been what you referred to earlier, Kurt, on the one of the largest tool hauls that YouTube has ever seen. That was like 4 or 5 episodes, and it was kind of fun because I bought a little bundle from her right in the beginning. Spent $150, $200, something like that, and then I kept on thinking about everything that she had, and it was a lady collector. I think you guys know that, but it was pretty impressive what she had. I think I counted 5,800 pieces or something like that is what she had. And the reason why I say it's the most painful one is because I'm still trying to get rid of that inventory. That's why I'm part of the reason why I'm here is to get an education on your eBay store. How do I get rid of this stuff? So, yeah. So that's been probably pretty memorable.
That was a good tool haul, and that's how I discovered you, because it just popped up on my feed, and I saw largest tool haul YouTube's ever seen, and I said, oh yeah, let me, because I do some big tool hauls.
I know.
And then I sat back and I'm like, come on, where'd you find all that? But for me, my favorite tool haul it's an old one. And if you go back in our videos, you find there's it's 2 parts because we did it twice. We found this guy who, his father passed away. His father owned this bicycle shop in, I think it was in Peekskill, Peekskill, New York. And it's this, no window thing. We show up, there's no windows. It's this weird door, and it's like underground. And we walk in, and it's this dim lit place. But he had all these old tools from like the 70s, and he had all these old KD tools. So when you look it up, it'll be the KD tool haul. There's 2 parts because he found more at some point. That stuff was amazing. New old stock.
Wow.
I think there in total between the 2 holes, we got like over 200 pieces of new old stock KD tools on the card, and nothing ever sold faster on eBay.
Really?
We put that stuff up, and that stuff was flying out the show. Some people were buying like 6, 7, 8, 9 things. It was crazy.
That's
and,
cool.
I mean, I wish I could have kept it all, but there's just no room. Like, I could have had a little KD display, but at the time, it was a pretty good way to make a couple bucks. So,
Yeah.
But that stuff was really awesome, and if you haven't seen that video, you should.
I need to go check that out.
All of you should check it out. Find the KD tool haul, and it's an old one, so the video quality's not that great, lighting's not the best, but the tools are worth it.
It's kind of funny how some of these people have these crazy collections like that. Like, that was, for me, it was that lady collector, right? Well, lo and behold, she called, and she says, I found some more tools in the basement. So I went back and I picked up a few more, but I was like, I learned my lesson. I can't do any more.
Yeah, this was the guy, it was a bicycle shop and an auto parts store and a hardware store.
Wow.
And an ammunition store and a bicycle repair. He had like a 5-in-1 place. Like I said, no windows.
Crazy. I'm going to go check that out.
We don't have, there's no filming in the place. I'll see if I can find the picture. I took a picture of that, what it looked like. But, going in there was like going into a time machine. Everything was from 30, 40, 50 years ago.
Wow.
So it was amazing.
We got one more, and then technically 2 more. I got a bonus one for you. But do you prefer new old stock finds or used tools?
I love the new old stock. Personally, for me, it gives me a really big tickle. Partly because I have that Craftsman Professional with that hydraulic lid, toolbox. So I'm trying to fill it with as much new old stock Craftsman, just to kind of make it look like it was the original Sears store that we all remember. And so I really get a kick out of that. And then, you stop and think about it. How cool is that something's been preserved still in the package for that long? Mm-hmm. That just really gets me all fired up.
I'm gonna go with the used tools. Wow. Like we were saying before in one of the other videos, when I go and use my tools and I see that old owner's mark on there, like when we bought last winter, we got the gas station service station, and the guy's name was Hybeck. Every tool has his name Hybeck on it. We kept a lot of tools that we use, and every time I see that tool with a Hybeck, I think of that guy and him telling us, his life story. So to me, there's a lot of used tools with character. New old stock is amazing, and eBay loves it. I mean, you see the prices these things go for. It's incredible, especially the Craftsman stuff. But in my heart, I love the used tools, the tools of a story.
Love it. You can't go wrong. I mean, either way, you're batting 100.
Not bad. All right, this is the last bonus one. If you were stranded on an island with 3 tool YouTubers, who would they be?
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll put it like this. I think I would choose Kurt, Nick, and Remy. And so if you guys don't know who Remy is, well, I got introduced to Remy today, and that is the NK Garage dog. So there's my 3. So I'm not going to pick anybody else because you know where that goes. So thank you for only making it 3. That would have made it hard if it was 4.
Well, I got to say, after today and getting to know you more, Jesse, I definitely want you to be there. You're such a fun guy, and you give an upbeat to the room, uplifting spirit. And I feel like if I was stranded on an island, we want those good spirits. But we also need, I think we need Scout Crafter. He's just incredibly wise. He knows how to
100%.
do a lot of things, and those skills can come in handy. And then if you were going to throw one more in the mix, let's add George from You Want to Watch.
Beautiful.
I think we could use him. He's a big, strong guy, and
Yeah.
help build some structures or hunt some animals or something. So George, you're coming with us to the island.
You know what? You can't go wrong. You're going to eat, and whatever's broken is going to get fixed. So, good question.
That's what I got for you guys.
All right. Well, thank you, Nick, and I hope everybody enjoyed learning about us and sharing these memories. But we got some stuff in front of us, don't we?
Yeah, we do. So I brought a box. I had it shipped here so I didn't have to go through and haul it in my suitcase. And so, and for some of you folks that don't know, my family and I are up here visiting New York for a week, and I reached out to these guys and said, "Hey, what do you guys think about getting together?" And so they were so welcoming and excited to have us, and we're excited to be here. So, all right, here's my box for you. All right. Well, you know what? Since I'm in your house, why don't you start off?
All right. Let's get this open. I got a pair of scissors, and I figured I'll pull out something, unwrap it, then it'll be your turn, and we'll go back and forth.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how she packaged it up, so you might just see everything in one shot. I don't know.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Jesse, I love brown paper.
See, you know what? I could tell. Look at all this. Talk about recycle. You can recycle.
Uh-oh, I think these go together. So we've got some of Jesse's custom license plates from his 3D printer. And I've seen a few of these on the other guy's channel. So we've got Jesse's Garage, NK Garage, All-Star Museum Contributor at the NK Garage. And then we have NK Garage, Nick and Kurt, Tool Hunters Extraordinaire. That is awesome.
I didn't know what to call you guys, but man, that's the first word that came to my mind.
That's perfect. That is exactly what we are. We are the Tool Hunters. So those
Awesome.
are awesome.
Well, and thank you guys. The reason why we made this one for you was because you guys were a contributor to the what we're trying to build. That museum, and so you guys did so awesome. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
So and then this, I didn't know if I nailed the color or not. I should have chose orange, but I didn't have any orange at the time.
Hey, that's a great color. We love that.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. All right. I don't know where to go. How about this one over here? We'll do this one here. How about this one? And check this out, by the way. I get the chance to use these.
You can borrow them, but you can't keep them.
Let's check it out. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. Got a little T-bar. What, a none better T-bar at that? Check that out. Can you see that, Nick?
Oh yeah.
A little 3/8 inch. This thing is clean. So none better, none better. And then the model is the B70. So I don't know if that shows up or not. Wow, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. Man, that was one of the brands that I've been on the hunt for like crazy. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, well, I know you're a none better guy, and there's not many of them out there. And it's such a funny piece because they're made by New Britain, but at the same time, New Britain was making the same tool for Craftsman and Husky.
Yeah.
So that you can get so many variations of the exact same tool.
Yeah, that knurling right on here, it reminds me a lot of that old Craftsman.
Yeah, it's
And the old Husky. Yeah. So, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, let's dive in. Doesn't feel like a tool,
Probably
but that's not a bad thing. I'm thinking it's a T-shirt, and I'm going to guess that that's what this other one is.
It is.
So I think there's one for me and one for Nick, or they're both for me. We got Jesse's Garage. Awesome shirt. Love this color. This is like a vintage off-white. That is awesome. And then on the back, check this tool. Tool holes, finds, and restorations. We got Craftsman, KD, Snap-on. You got all the brands on here. That's awesome. I'm gonna wear this all the time.
Can you tell that's a sign of an addict? You list all the brands.
And then
I didn't know what
maybe-
color resonated with each one of you guys, so we just threw a couple different ones in there.
I really like that one, so I think Nick's gonna get the blue one.
That's fine with me.
So yeah, is it the it's the same shirt?
Same
right?
same shirt, just
That-
different color.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
That is great, and these feel like some really nice shirts. They're Hanes. Nice shirt. Love it.
well, that was my second version because the first one's, which is what I'm wearing now, it wasn't nearly as soft, and I'm used to something like that. So I thought, well, hey, I better order me up something a little bit nicer this time around. So let's see what else we got here. Oh my goodness, it's a ratchet. It's an old Craftsman and a double line V. There you go. Love it, love it, love it. So, man, that's smooth. And you know, there's just something about that clicking sound. You know, if you ever notice that,
Yeah.
you just know it just works. So, love it. Man,
Yeah. Earlier, I mentioned to Jesse one of the tools he's going to get is a tool that could probably tell stories. And when I saw this ratchet,
yeah.
and you know, it's very hard to get chrome off of a tool, but to wear it down from just normal use like that,
Yeah.
all over that ratchet, you can tell that thing has got miles and miles on it. If that was a car, it'd have 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah, that is a fact. I mean, and how do you wear this out? That's my question. Maybe some of you guys that are on the channel right now, how do you wear this part out? I can see, you know, a socket resting up here or something like that, but to wear this part out, that's just tough. Oh, and it belonged to Noel. So I don't know if Noel's still around, but if he is, maybe you can tell us how that happened. My goodness, I love it.
Yeah.
And you know, pieces like this, by the way, it has too much story. For me, I would never want to clean it up.
Yeah.
This is as clean as it gets right here. I mean, it's still working good, and in it, like you said, it has the story. And then you notice how this is indented in here.
Yeah. It's so used. And,
Yeah.
But he cared for it. Like, it's not abused. It's just he used that ratchet every day for a lifetime, and it works great.
Love it. Love it. Thank you, guys.
All right, let's dive in, find something. What do we got here? We got a pair of pliers. I know already these are Craftsman, and there they are. So these are the Western Forge 45380, and these are the bigger slip joint pliers. These got to be like 10 inch, maybe 10.5 inch. And they practically look new old stock. You know, the jaws show like just a little bit of use, but that's a really good condition. And whenever you can find that logo, those old laser etch logos that disappear, that's nice.
Now, the reason why I sent that to you, because I sent you these, but I didn't remember if I sent you that size or not. Is that one there?
I think it might be.
Oh, it is. Okay. All right.
It doesn't hurt to have two.
I was trying to be unique. I'm sorry. I couldn't tell from the video whenever you showed them if that was that size or not. But
Yeah.
hey, at least you have a backup.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? These might actually go right over on the workbench over there.
Okay, cool.
'Cause slip joint pliers to me it's like one of it's the basic tool, but you know, you have the two positions, but when you need to grab something bigger, you move it over.
Yeah.
And you can use them, you know, in so many different ways. So I'm going to put these over on my workbench. I actually have a spot open right there. There's one spot open on the pliers rack, and I'm going to use these all the time.
Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Ooh. Is it? It is. Check that out. My goodness. This Octo Grip, I think isn't that what it says? Yeah. Yeah. Octo Grip snap-on screwdriver. My goodness, how is that? That's like what, 16, 18?
I think it's at least 16, yeah.
Yeah, man, that is beautiful. I do have a little bit of that going on. That is awesome. Thank you so very much. Man, look at the tip on this bad boy here. Beautiful.
Basically, I think I saw you with a couple of them on the channel.
Uh-huh.
I knew I had one, and I knew it was a really big one. And I figured you probably don't have that one, and I think it could make a good addition to the collection.
I think I only have 2 pieces that are snap-on Octo Grip.
Yeah, I don't think they made them for a very long time.
Really? Yeah. Thank you. Man, that's an awesome piece.
Let's find another tool. It's an adjustable wrench.
Now, I will say the lady that I used to help me out with the wrapping, she's pretty doggone good wrapper. So sorry you have to struggle.
Man, this thing, is this new old stock?
It's brand new old stock.
Wow. You know, these are very nice. These, when they made this series, I believe they had them at Sears just when we were starting to buy tools, and we got like maybe a couple of them. And then his uncle had a bunch of these.
Oh, wow.
But to find them in this condition is really hard. And whatever finish, I think it's a nickel finish, it doesn't last that well. Just like the laser etched logo on those pliers. So when you find them like this is amazing. And these are some of my favorites.
Good, good, good. I didn't know if you had those in that condition or not. I didn't see it on the board.
I don't keep much on the board anymore, just to leave room for other stuff.
Okay.
But back at my house in my shed, I have my adjustable wrench collections, and I'm starting to put together the Western Forge, and I don't think I have this one.
Cool.
Even if I did, it wouldn't look like this. So this is probably gonna. I might even have to bring this inside my house because it's so nice. I don't know if I want it to be exposed to the elements.
You're too crazy. All right, let me open up this next one here. Looks like a box or a wrap. All right. Ooh. So we got the Allen. I think I seen this in a video. Didn't you just do it recently? Maybe not.
It was in there. I don't know how much I showed off of it.
Okay, so it's Allen wrench or metric wrench set. Check that out. My goodness. And it's complete, it looks like, too. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Take one of these bad boys out here. You'll probably see the naming on that part there. These bad boys are clean as all get out. And man, they're in great condition. Thank you so much. You know, I think this plays well into that museum scenario of displaying all the different tools.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be beautiful.
My favorite part about this piece, and the reason why I wanted to give it to you, especially for the museum, when I put this on originally on the eBay store. I could not find, it's got a part number on it, couldn't find anything, nothing like this book style, and especially to find it in metric. I looked through all the sold listings, nothing. Sold listings going back 3 years, couldn't find anything, so there's none available as far as I can tell. And then the coolest part to me is when you read the fine print here, it says, the Allen wrench people.
Yeah. That's cool. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah. So push that back in.
That's the hardest part. I think it needs to, you might have to put it in like some soft, put it in some warm water, get it to soften up, because it doesn't want to go in all the way because the plastic is kind of hardened up.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. We got another pair of pliers.
Don't tell me I already sent you that one too.
I don't think you did. I believe that is one from, that one is from my personal collection.
Oh, okay.
But there's a difference.
Yeah.
See, this one is the name stamped straight, and this one has the circle stamp. So they're different models.
Yeah.
So this is like the chrome plated, and this is just the brushed finish.
Well, this is, I think, matching the set that I sent you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a great piece, and obviously better condition than this one, and more appropriate for the collection that we've been working on. So, thank you, Jesse. That is another excellent piece to have there.
Cool. All right, let's dig into this one. Man, this bad boy is heavy. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, big old wrench. Man, I love these styles of wrenches. All right, this one says XT 1 7/16 on this side. And then this one is 1 5/8. And there's something on here that says hardened on here. So let's flip it over. It's an old Williams. Check that out. Wow. That is beautiful. Man, this is going to look good. I got that Williams collection going on. And whew, in case you're wondering, the 378A is what this one is. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's one you hang on the wall.
Yeah, for sure, man. That's cool. Thank you. Awesome.
I think I got a 2-for-1.
Yeah. You know, bubble wrap isn't cheap. You know, we're trying to conserve a little bit.
We got the little Craftsman. This one here's the little Craftsman needle nose. And these are also they're made in China. But that's really not that big of a deal. We were talking earlier, we had those precision pliers Nick had made in China. You know, a Craftsman tool is still a well-made tool.
Yeah.
And then I think we have a matching pair of the little flush cutters here.
So they just the handles kind of reminded me of the of the original ones here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They probably sold them at the same time, but since these are so small, they wanted to make them more economical. They probably sold it in a little kit made in China.
Cool.
But they're still good pliers. They're still
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see here. Talking about some pliers, perhaps. Check that out. Man, look at the condition of that. Beautiful set of Armstrong water pump pliers there. The orange handle. Wow, that is gorgeous. Where'd you find these at?
Those came from the flea market, and I'm pretty sure I only paid $1 for them.
Really? That is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
I rarely ever see Armstrong pliers.
Yeah.
And I've never seen them in the orange handle.
Yeah.
And since you're doing the museum, figured start something new. I don't know if you've had anything like that.
I do. I've never seen anything like this with the orange handle like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I don't know. I have Armstrong, but I don't think I have ratchets and sockets and wrenches, but I don't know that I even have a pair of pliers.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and look, but definitely not orange. So that matches you guys' shirt. Sure you want to give it up?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-oh, we got somebody's bigger brother. Jesse, this is too kind. These are just beautiful. I'm blown away. I might have to bring these home, and I might have to keep them in my nightstand or something. In my sock drawer.
I know you're a big adjustable wrench guy, so
Yeah,
I see those.
these are beautiful. When they came out with these, they had the most beautiful look to them.
Oh, they are.
And whenever I find them at the flea market, they're like all brown and rust. But this is well preserved.
Yeah, well preserved, and then the jaws are so tight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful.
they're in the right place. So good for you. All right, let's see here. Oh, level. It says level there, and then it says Miller Falls. Wow, that is gorgeous. Look at that. Man, that is so preserved. Can I open it? I'm going to take it out. Man, look at that. Guys, are you seeing this? This is for real deal, right before our very eyes. These guys just went way over the top. My goodness. Has those magnets at the bottom, right? Yeah. And so look at the bubbles on these. And they're beautiful. It's brand new. And you guys come across the coolest stuff, man. I got to tell you. Sometimes when I'm sitting there watching your video, I'm tempted to throw my cup of coffee at you guys like doggone rascals. That guy at the flea market, sometimes, man, I see some of the stuff you bring home from him. He treats you guys right.
Yeah,
As far as unique tools.
that one was a good find, and I found it, where you'd never expect, just in a pile of old tools.
Really?
But somebody bought it and never used it, and it had been in there preserved.
Wow.
And that's museum quality.
Yeah.
tool. And I doubt you'll see one like it in that condition.
Oh, no. In fact, I can tell you right now that it, other than our little display, it is not going to leave the package probably again. It's going in the museum, and then we're going to try to show it off as good as we can. Beautiful. Thank you.
They're getting bigger.
I was pretty sure I didn't send you that one.
You definitely have not sent us that one. So we left off with I think the 12-inch, and now we're up to the 16-inch, which is a beautiful pair of pliers. And even with the bigger size, you get all these extra grooves. You get tons and tons of choices. You can grab some big stuff with these, and you can never have enough pliers to do that. So I don't know if it's going to live here or somewhere else, but it's going to be well kept in the collection.
Well, as long as we could add to the collection and make it as complete as possible for you, that's what matters the most for us. So, all right. Now you guys showed in your toolbox, you guys had a big old pair. The red one, what was that again?
The Blue Point.
The Blue Point. Man, those suckers were huge. You know what was amazing to me about those that I didn't mention in that video is that the handles were so short compared to the jaw.
Yeah.
I've not seen that before.
I think it's more meant for mechanics because it's the Blue Point line.
All right. Can't quite read that one. This was Proto. I think that's Proto.
Both Proto.
Both Proto. Okay. Oh yeah, I can see it right there now. Man, look at that. Look at that. Look at how fine that tip is. It's crazy. Probably need to get one of your caliper tools to kind of measure that out. It's so fine. Look at that. It's gorgeous, and it's still matching up together. You see that there, Nick?
Oh yeah.
Man, that's gorgeous. Look at that. And then we got the duckbill pliers. Man. These will go beautifully into the Proto box. My goodness. Love that. Love it, love it. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I just keep sticking my hand
I forget what we sent you. That's really why I had to ask.
I think we have another small pair of Craftsman's. Oh wow, these are the Japanese ones. They're the little flush cutters. We do have a little bit of a nick. I don't know if that something happened or. It's not a big deal. I can always fix that and kind of reprofile it, but I appreciate
that's a bummer.
Yeah. So these are the BF Japan. So they're made in Japan and probably the Fuller factory, and they have the little spring here. So those are nice. I love flush cutters. I'm starting to get a big collection of them going.
Cool.
So that is.
Man, sorry about that. It bums me out about that tip on there. Oh, it's a Walden box. Am I thinking that right? Or no, or Walden? Yeah, Walden. Check that beautiful bad boy out.
You're gonna have to find the tools, but
yeah. Well, you know what? I haven't displayed any of my Walden stuff. I mean, other than when I got in the tool hall. But my drawer is getting pretty full, so I'm anxious to see what I could throw in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. What do you think came in here? Just like wrenches or socketed ratchets?
Socket set, I think.
Okay. That just came around, do you think?
I think it's supposed to be deep sockets here. I think it's half-inch
Oh.
drive, deep sockets, and then that's supposed to be like a breaker bar, maybe a little extension or an adapter or something.
Gotcha.
So
That's good to know. Awesome.
that's my best guess. But it's old, and that's a heavy-duty box.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, and you know what's nice when they're so heavy duty, like this one has just a little bit of a bend in it. Straighten that out.
Yeah.
Throw a little bit of sandblasting. Put another finish on it.
Yeah.
And
My favorite part is that logo is actually in the metal.
Yeah.
So you can repaint it, you can sandblast it, sand it, you know.
Yep. You're not losing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Thank you. Man, that is awesome.
So we've got another piece to add. I'm going to take a guess that this is the 8-inch.
No, you might be right.
Yeah, there we go. That is, they belong together. That is beautiful. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm going to be thinking about these. You know, you're going to kick me into trying to find the rest because and there's a listing on eBay. A guy has the full set from the 4-inch up to the 24-inch in new old stock. You wouldn't believe what he's asking for it.
Now you have to tell me.
It's a lot of money.
Huh.
Like a lot of money.
I didn't
course.
know they made the 24.
Yeah.
Because I have the 4-inch through, what's the next size? 15?
15 or 16.
I have something like that, but I don't think I have the 24. I don't
Yeah.
think.
It's
Yeah.
a big one.
Yeah. Cool.
Got one more piece. All right, we got a nice pair of diagonal cutters here, pristine. And you can never have too many diagonal cutters. You know, it's one of the top used tools in the shop. And those are so nice. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for everything that you guys have gifted over to the museum. That is just totally awesome.
Well,
Love it, love it, love it.
thank you, Jesse. We're going to wear these shirts, and we're going to cherish these tools. The pliers probably going to be users, and these are going to be preserved because these are too nice. But I don't have a bad feeling about using some of these.
No.
You know, they're good. They're great tools, and they were meant to be used.
Well, that's the beautiful part about it, is that they're yours, so you do them however you want to.
Exactly.
So,
And this stuff I picked out for you, especially for the museum. I felt like there were some certain pieces that I feel like you would have trouble finding some of these pieces.
Yeah.
These are some of the more obscure things that I found, and then this was a little bit of an extra bonus I threw in there, just because I wanted to talk about the tools that could tell stories.
yeah.
And it's so amazing that it works so well. It's, you know, it was a cool find. So,
Excellent.
all right.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Jesse.
And thank you, Nick, as well. And guys, I got to tell you, you think Nick or Kirk just does all the work? Nick is doing some hard work on behind the scenes with that camera angles that he's got going on there. So, man, you know what? Let me crash your scene here, your set in the beginning. That's just totally amazing. I love that. That just, I mean, who does that? Nobody does that.
Yeah, it was so much fun, and I hope that everybody who's watching watches all the videos.
Yeah.
And I hope that this is going to start something new. You know, a lot of us in the tool community, there's a lot of creators out there, and we got to start doing these collabs. You know, when we can. A lot of people are busy, and we're spread out throughout the country, but
Yeah.
you know, this is too much fun.
Well,
This
and
is-
you know, what's interesting is that when we were going to lunch earlier, you guys said, you know, you guys travel for some business here and there, and you know, I was just traveling up here for some fun, and knew you guys were up here, and I thought, hey, let me just reach out. It can happen just that easy. So, my goodness, and I know it's not just us YouTube guys that are having these awesome collections. You guys are out there having some great collections too.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, why don't you invite all three of us over? We'd love to come over. And so we work for cheap, you know, beer and pizza. I mean, how cool is that? Well, again, thank you so much for letting me be part of the first two videos.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we're all together here. And the questions were awesome. and I was kind of fretting at first, you know, what's Nick going to ask us over here? So, but it went good. So, thank you so much again. I really appreciate you guys for having me down.
It was a lot of fun. It really was. Even Nick had fun, even though we had to put him to work filming us
Yeah.
all day long. But I think he enjoyed it, and this was awesome. So hopefully we'll be able to meet up again in the future, whether it's at one of the shows or something, or
I would love that.
you know, maybe we'll come down to Kansas at some point.
You're more than welcome. In fact, when I get the museum done, you have an open invitation to come and check it out in person. So that would be awesome if you guys could do that. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit subscribe, not only to this channel, but especially to NK Garage, NK Landscaping. And really, there's a whole host of other YouTube creators out there. So make sure you go check them out as well. But this is kind of fun we do. So would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Until next time, we'll see you on the next video.